Hello friends, near and far, dear to my heart. I'm Victoria with Aligned Soul Tarot. This message will be for Taurus and all Taurus placements within your birth chart, or wherever you have second house influence in your chart. If you don't know what any of those placements are, just know that I offer birth chart readings. With my readings, we create a story, your own personal roadmap to help guide you through this unique journey here on Earth. In this reading, Taurus, we will be discussing astrology, oracle messages, and tarot. And at the end of the reading, I will have a love reading, so stay tuned for that. If this reading resonates, please like and comment. I love to hear about your personal experiences and what is supporting you, right? What are you needing at this time? We are in Sag season, the final fire sign. It's like the sunset, right? As we enter into a new calendar year, we stare off into the sunset and reminisce, reflect on all the experiences, the wisdom and the resilience we are gaining, right? And have gained over the last year. There's a lot of introspection this month and regaining focus on what it is we are birthing and creating into the new year. Sagittarius represents the archer, the arrow of truth. How high can that arrow go? How can you take the wisdom that you've acquired and apply it in your reality with laser focus and intention? Bold and bright like the sunset, we expand our horizon. We light up the sky before we turn inward towards the darkness, especially here in the Northern Hemisphere as we enter into winter. We have a Sagittarius packed December. Not only is the sun in Sag, but we have Mars and a new moon in Sag on December 12th. And also, Sagittarius's ruling planet Jupiter is going to be going direct December 30th. May we fully and powerfully activate the highest collective wisdom, truth, and awareness for humanity. Now, Taurus, let's get into your reading. Hi Taurus, and welcome to your December forecast. We're going to jump right into the astrology for Taurus, Sun and Ascendant signs specifically. But just know that if this reading resonates, please continue watching and listening. If not, check your other placements. All right, Taurus. So, Jupiter has been in Taurus. It won't be switching off until May into Gemini. So, we talked about this, I believe, in August. I remember your reading, we jumped into this Jupiter energy, but Jupiter's going direct, okay? And it's still in your sign. So please soak up the reward of Jupiter being in your sign. It's a very expansive time for you, Taurus, right? We talk about this a lot with Jupiter. It expands things. It's like a microscope, you know, it zooms in on what we ourselves are focusing in on, right? So whatever that might be for you, right? This is a general reading. It expands it, right? And sometimes, especially amongst retrogrades, which we will experience Mercury retrograde this month, it is a lot about that inner tension, right? Like what's boiling up within you, and retrogrades allow us to feel into those places where we're feeling tension or resistance. So Jupiter being in your sign is helping facilitate this energy. And I think that it helps kind of speed the process up, right? So just keep that in mind that towards the end of the month, this is not going to be till December 30th, Jupiter is going direct. We talked about the Sag energy, and what does that mean for you, right? We have the sun in Sag, we have Mars in Sag, and we have a new moon on December 12th in Sag, and this is going to all be in your 8th house. So what is 8th house? 8th house is scorpionic energy, and if you look back at my readings, I did the Pluto direct message. We dived into what the 8th house means, so if you want to take a look at that reading, I will link it below in the description box, okay? 8th house talks about a lot of things, but for me as an astrologer, I feel like it's a lot around the deep psychological aspects that make you you, right? It doesn't have to always be just the wounds and the trauma, but the 8th house likes to dig things up, right? This plutonic energy wants to transform and transmute things, right? This death process to this rebirth process. because all energy never truly dies. It just changes. It maybe changes form, right? So with this 8th house influence, there could be this death process that's happening within you, right? Getting closer to those parts of you that maybe were subtly hidden below the surface. 8th house also talks about sexuality, intimacy, the shared spaces with those that are really close to us. So you might be really feeling called to create more intimate relationships in your life with people that really foster like your individual unique self, right? And 8th house also can be a bit mysterious and secretive. So you might be feeling this month again that you kind of want to go more inward a bit, and really feel into those spaces. Like, what is pulling you and calling you, and what are these urges and sensations? It's a very primalistic house, right? So with that 8th house influence, just keep that in mind. Again, Mercury is going retrograde. And this happens several times throughout the year. If you know anything about astrology, there's nothing to fear. Again, retrogrades just allow us to feel into the tension, right? Feel into it, right? It's a chance for us to catch up with ourselves, really. Because in this day and age, if you're living here on planet Earth, you know, given technology and the pace and the speed of life, it seems like we get carried away pretty easily. And I think it's important for all of us to simplify a bit as much as we can and really do that spiritual work, right? That takes time. So give yourself that time and space during Mercury retrograde, okay? Mercury is going to be in Capricorn, and it's going to be in your 10th house. So 10th house talks a lot around your soul's purpose, right? This is your midheaven. This is your career. You could be rethinking again, how do you want to show up in the world, right? And I always urge people when there's this 10th house influence, especially Mercury retrograde, right? It's one of the inner planets, so we tend to feel it in our everyday life. With the 10th house for you, Taurus, it's going to be important for you to try your best to bridge the gap between what it is that you are doing to monetize, right, in your career, and then again, your hobbies. And you don't always necessarily have to take your hobbies and monetize them, but making space for that 10th house. So wherever your 10th house is, like whatever sign it is in your chart, if you don't know what any of that is, I offer birth chart readings. But if you already know this, try to pull on those qualities of that 10th house. Like, what sign is it in? What house is it in? And bring that into your career. Bring that into your hobbies, your creative endeavors, okay? The new moon, again, is in your 8th house. And then we have a full moon on December 27th in Cancer. That's going to be in your 3rd house of communication. Just in time for Mercury retrograde, right? The full moon, just be mindful. There might be some urge to communicate, and that's quite all right, right? Mercury retrograde, especially with this full moon in your 3rd house, you might feel really propelled or inspired towards communicating something that maybe you haven't communicated, right? Maybe there's this sudden urge, but again, feel into it. Where is this coming from? Is it coming from a place of fear, a scarcity mindset, or a place within you that wants to expand? Okay. All right. Let's get into your oracle message here. We're going to pull from the empathic oracle. I haven't used this deck in a while. We're going to see what message we have for the Taurus collective for December. All right, Taurus. What is it that Taurus needs to know? What is it that Taurus needs to see for the month of December? Please show me. Crowd surfing in autumn. So something significant could have happened with you in autumn. Think back to fall, right? Wherever you are in the world, if you're in the northern hemisphere, where most of my viewers are, but wherever you are, place the seasons as you see fit. But think back to August, September, I'm feeling August because of retrogrades, but September and October specifically, something significant took place. And it had to do with a certain phase in your life, right? Moving through some phase, some change, some big choices, to be authentic in some way, creating more authenticity within your relationships. And that reminds me of that 8th house, right? That plutonic energy, it doesn't fuss, it doesn't mess around. It's a very raw, real place to sit in. So get comfortable in December in those really intimate, authentic spaces and create more of that in your life, Taurus. We have crowd surfing showing up here, and I'm feeling inspired to read from the book just so you can get some messages on what this means for you. So, the world is filled with the noise of thoughts and the emotions of those who gather. And like quicksand, it soon suffocates my experience. Experiencing the energy of being with one person can be very challenging in and of itself for an empath. Being around several people may manifest a myriad of energies that become even more overwhelming. So really, large crowds, parties, outings, you might feel like you're losing yourself within other people's energy, right? It's like this succubus energy. I'm sensing like energy, your energy is being drained in some way. You might be feeling like anxiety or overwhelm in large groups. And this is kind of drawing me back to the 8th house. Like you might be feeling like you want to be a bit more private, more reclusive, keep to yourself as you're kind of exploring this inner dialogue, right? Is what's really coming up. So a lot around your company. The questions for this card that I have for you, Taurus, is, do I feel safe to venture out into the world and experience all that it has to offer? Free from absorbing all the divergent energies of the crowd. Are outside energies in my experience of them coloring my view of the situation? Would I benefit from grounding and focusing my energy so I can navigate this in the highest possible way? So I talked about this during the full moon at the end of the month. November was one heck of a month, right? I feel like as a collective, we are having to move through a lot of heavy grief, collective grief. And I do have a reading on my channel for the first 2 stages and phases of grief, if you want to take a look at those. But this crowd surfing, right? So many opinions, this dualism, this dualistic nature that I feel like was really present, especially during the full moon in Gemini, which represents that duality, right? And the stark reality that we're facing amongst all these varying opinions. And it feels like it's just overwhelming, right, Taurus? It could really feel like, how can I be authentic amongst the crowd? How can my voice and my place within this world be heard and recognized without being drowned out even? There's a lot around authenticity, and I feel like you are kind of shedding your skin a bit with these phases here. Like you might kind of go through phases where you might even be more social, even, is what I'm hearing. And then they're like, okay, I'm going to go more inward. I'll take some time for myself, like finding that balance. And also like other people's opinions, staying authentic to your truth, Taurus. It's going to be very important. And you could have been really tested back in the fall, and you're asking to, Spirit is asking you to think back to fall. There was something significant there. All right, let's pull from the tarot for you, Taurus. What do we have for the Taurus collective for December? Please show me what I need to see. Taurus. Taurus collective. Taurus. Taurus. Okay. Ace of Pentacles. You have 2 aces here. The Ace of Swords. Whoa. Whoa. The Ace of Swords with the Ace of Pentacles. We have the World and the Page of Wands. Then we have the Magician with the 5 of Swords in reverse. Okay, so let's feel into this. 2 of Pentacles on the bottom. I like this being in reverse though, because this is like, I'm making a choice. I'm not allowing myself to overwhelm myself anymore. I have to move through some of these obstacles, right? When I see the Two of Pentacles, it's like a really busy schedule, like juggling too many things. This also can represent like balance, right? And this is also earth energy here, so this is definitely you kind of finding more balance. I see here with the Two of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Magician and the Five of Swords, so this is Gemini energy. We also have fire showing up here with Earth, and we have the World card. Okay, so Magician, Five of Swords. I also like seeing this Five of Swords in reverse. You know, I do feel like you have entered into a new phase here, Taurus. Believe it or not, you might not always feel like you have, but I want you to, again, take some time to really do a life revision even. Like, you just entered out of a major cycle back in October, right? The lunar node shifted, and this was an end of an era for you, right? So now it's like a new chapter, a new phase in your life, where you are really being called to be more authentically you. No more like trying to people please and fit in, right? And there's so much new energy here with these two aces showing up, and you are really magnetizing and pulling in people, again, that are here for your highest good, right? You're not trying to do this tit for tat power struggles anymore in this Five of Swords, right? Mind games, you know, this is a lot of manipulation. It's like, I don't want those kinds of people in my life, right? We're always going to run into those types of people throughout our life. But if we can use more discernment and learn again and apply those lessons, right? Those karmic lessons, especially that we learned during eclipse season and prior, the last 2 years for you, Taurus. Again, now is about application. So yeah, you might have people come in and test your patience that are, you know, maybe mirroring back to you something again that happened in the fall, and you're like, nope, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to be in that type of energy. I'm trying to separate myself from that because it's soul sucking is what I'm hearing. The drama. Manifesting something new here. Beautiful opportunities. A lot around speaking your truth here. This is what's going to bring in really awesome new perspectives. Like, and the Ace of Pentacles can be like money, right? This could be around career, especially with that 10th house influence in Mercury. But for me, I'm seeing here, this is more of like a perspective shift. Like, oh, wow, I finally see, like it's a light bulb going off, a light bulb moment, like recalibrating. The mind and the heart are like kind of more in sync here. And you are just entering in again to a new cycle. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Page of Wands is also being very inspired by taking action in some new way. All right, let's pull. Let's see here. Let's pull from the Wisdom of the Oracle. In regards to Taurus for December, what is it that they need to know? Too many. One card, please, for the Taurus collective for December. Clean it up. This is about organizing. Clean it up, again, is like the people that are in your life. I keep hearing that for you. Clean it up. You know, don't keep replaying those outdated cycles with people, places, things that you know aren't serving you. You know, you are being asked to move into something completely new here with the World card and these aces showing up for you. So again, this is also mundane stuff, you know, like organizing your thoughts, getting really clear, setting your intentions with the Magician, decluttering the mind, right? Making space for new, really is the message here. All right, let's pull from the Love Oracle. At this portion of the reading, Taurus, I want you to focus in on your love interest if you're gonna stick here for the love portion, let's see. Let's look into your love interest. Let's see their thoughts and feelings currently in December on you, Taurus. This is gonna be for Taurus in regards to love. How is their person feeling and viewing them? There's a lot of memories here. The memories card is showing up. We have depth, awareness, importance, and value. And we have distracted, sidetracked, change, delays. So it looks like for December, your love interest, it's seeming as though they do honor this relationship, whatever phase that you're in, right? Taurus, this is a general reading. If you want to follow me over to Patreon, we'll have a more in-depth, extended, or again, a private reading where we can look into your specifics. But overall, this person, I think, does think highly of you. They are reminiscing. They're in the more nostalgic, like Six of Cups energy. And again, there's this awareness here. And I think this is coming from both parties here, this awareness of like the depth of this relationship, and even maybe how much has been learned here, you know, with the World card showing up. The World card's the last major arcana in the tarot deck. So, you know, through that process, you know, getting to that phase of the world, it takes a lot of trial, error, work, you know, working through a lot of these karmic lessons. And I feel like there's an importance here. And I think, again, it's mutual. I think that both of you understand that there is so much depth to this relationship, and that the memories that were created, whether they were good or bad, is what kind of created that depth, right? And that intimacy. And both of you truly do feel that. I do feel that. This distraction card, I want to look into. What is this distraction about? What is this distraction about for Taurus's love interest? What is this distraction about? Again, the silver lining. Overall, for December, your love interest does see the silver lining in things. It's like understanding that everything that's happened up until this moment has served a purpose, and that there's some sort of silver lining here, even with maybe some sort of distance or distraction. It's like they are trying to keep a very positive mindset when it comes to this love relationship. Overall, this is pretty positive. All right, I'm going to pull one more love oracle, and we're going to take this over to Patreon to continue this love message for you, Taurus. Let's see. This is for Taurus and their love interest. What is it that they need to know for the month of December? Please show me what I need to see. So we got Hammer. This is persistence, working on things, rebuilding. It could look different for every Taurus, but it could be, Taurus, that they want to rebuild with you, or that you guys are rebuilding your lives separately. You know, it could look very different, but we're going to look into it more on Patreon. So if you want to follow me over, you can find the link in my description box. Bye for now, Taurus. Take care.